guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be carrying out phase 2 of a big church installation we're doing. We've already installed the boiler and we've already got the heating up and running, but we're now back to install some new radiators on the opposite side of the church. So we've got to run a lot of pipe work through some channels in the floor all the way to the opposite side, pick up a cast iron radiator and also install some new ones. So I'll walk you through it and show you exactly what we've got to do. So this is the boiler that I've already installed here. So we did this before Christmas now. The system's already up and running. So the customer wanted a domestic boiler. We took out 2 commercial boilers, but the customer wanted to make sure that it was domestic, I guess for servicing reasons, and also because ultimately it is only running, or will be running, eventually about 20 to 24 radiators. So gone for the largest valent domestic boiler that you can get, a light commercial. It's just under the limit of a domestic gas engineer's ticket, so it's a great bit of kit. So I'll just show you exactly what we've done. So just drop them down here straight into a low loss header. We've got the fill and lube, obviously, really large expansion vessel. We might end up adding another one. Magna pump, which are absolutely brilliant. I fit these a lot. Never have any issues with them. Splitting off into 2 zones because we've got 2 zones that's going to be running either side of the church, and then straight up. So a lot of it is fairly simple, straightforward pipe work. It's a really good, enjoyable job to do. So I'll walk you through it. So in phase 1 of the installation, we had to remove a lot of 3-inch cast iron pipes, which are running all the way along, picking up all these radiators along here. So fully repiped in copper now. You can see here the size of the existing pipe work is all on a single pipe system, running off 2 large commercial boilers, which were redundant, and they must have been 40 years old. So now we're starting phase 2. We're picking up off the tees that we installed previously that go down into this void area. So we've got flow and return here, and what we're going to do is run it through all the way along through these channels, which are conveniently placed in the floor, which is fantastic. So we're going to be using flexible pipe just to feed it through, because it would be near on impossible to do it in copper. And then all the way through here. So it's about 12 meters wide, the side of this place. And then I've got to try to get rid of these large cast pipes here, bring up some new feeds, and then this is going to be the start of the next phase. So because of the heritage of the building, well, unfortunately we're not allowed to be using solder fittings, so we are going to be using press fittings. We generally use these ones because they're really good. You can use them on both gas and water. You don't necessarily need to be worrying about if you've got the right O-ring in there. They all come yellow as standard. Great bit of kit, and actually a little bit cheaper than some of the main brands. So the press tools we use are the Rems gun. This is the second Rems gun that I've had. It's been pressing now for probably about 5-6 years. So we're going to be mounting all the pipework on Munson rings. Got various sizes here. Generally we use them because they look really smart with cleaned up copper, nice and secure, and also safe as well. So the pipework we're going to be feeding through these channels is 6 meter lengths of poly pipe. So I didn't even realise you could get these in 6 meters. So 6 meters in 28 mil is going to be really good, because it means we're not going to have hardly any joints underneath the floor. So we're going to pre-lag it and feed it through. So Bailey's just getting the copper prep now around the perimeter of this void, save poly pipe swinging straight through the middle going into these valves. So he's pre-lagged the poly pipe, these 6 meter lengths, and we're now going to feed it straight through down these channels and hopefully all the way to the end. Right, so I've made a cut through the 2-inch pipe now on the other side of the church. I need to get this section of pipework as much out of the way as possible, just so we can bring up the new copper. The client is aware, obviously we can't remove everything, and there is a huge armed cable coming through as well, so I've got to be very, very careful. But what we're going to do is, I've made a cut, so now I just need to try and free it up, big pair of Stilsons, and just try and lever it off. So Bailey's been busy while I've been disconnecting all the original pipework. Bailey's now run the pipework round in the pit, which will then join onto this poly pipe here, which will then feed those radiators back over the other side. So yeah, nice and neat job is done there. It can all be isolated there. Obviously blue and red flow and return. Right, so 3.5 painstaking hours later, I have managed to finally disconnect this old pipework down here, so we should be able to run the pipework through. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a pain. I'll just show you now quickly. So this is where we're going to be bringing the new copper pipes up through, and then that'll feed the new radiators. You can see there's armoured cable in there, lots of other different cables to try and avoid. So I've got the bulk of it out of the way now, so I'm going to start feeding those poly pipes through and adapting it to copper and then getting it clipped. Right, so we've got the bulk of the poly pipe in now. It's all lagged, cable tied together in places, so we've just got to get it through from here now to that final location over on that wall. So we just about managed to get the flow and return pipe through. It was a bit of a pain. You can see there's loads of cables in there, but most of it is dead, so we did manage to get it through in the end for a bit of poking around. So got the feeds coming up now, flow and return. We'll be teeing off that way for phase 3 in the future to go over to these cast rads. So while I've been stuck in that corner pretty much most of the day, Bailey has outstanding, has managed to get a lot of work done. So you can see we've got the feeds now going along here, going down, so that's ready for some radiators that are going here. Right, it's day 2 now, we're back at the church, all the grunt work's done, all the hard labour stuff, so today should be fairly straightforward. Just going to set out the Munson rings and start running some pipe work. So you can see here we've got a bit of an issue, we've got electrical conduit in the way, so I need to pull 2 passovers just to get over this, and then we can head up straight again. So we're going to be attempting to try and repressurise this radiator here. As you can see, it's a beautiful cast iron rad, don't really want to have to lose it. So Bailey's just getting the connections ready down here, just in case we spring a leak, so we can isolate it and separate it from the rest of the system. Right, so we finished up all the pipe work now. This was the last new radiator to go in of this phase. So we are now about to fill up the existing cast iron radiator, and we've got everything crossed. We're hoping it's going to be okay. So let's give it a go.
Right, ready with the towels?
Can't hear any air hissing. This valve definitely looks a bit skeptical. Hi guys, unfortunately I had to cut that video short. We had the church community people come in and they were rehearsing for an upcoming project, so unfortunately I couldn't get any more footage today, but everything is all up and running. The radiator held up well, a lot of purging, but it was all getting nice and hot, so yeah, really happy with how that job went. So would really appreciate if you like and subscribe, and hope to see you on the next one.